against Lin, and it's going to be starting in just a moment. Neo,
Remo,
who does this favor? Who has the upper hand historically?
I can tell you some stats about that, Remo. Fly versus WFZ is a match that we've seen 26 times, and it's pretty even. It's 14 maps to Fly and 12 maps to WFZ according to the Warcraft3.info, according to our stats. It's kind of the same, but the other way around. WFZ with the upper hand here. Both are pretty good in their respective matchups. Fly 54% versus Undead, WFZ 60% versus Orc. That is really impressive with Lin and Focus being so strong recently. Both are qualified already. Both will go to Shanghai. Fly is one of the very few players that goes there for the 6th time, so he will have witnessed every single episode of GCS together with 120, TH, and Infi. WFZ only missed one GCS, so that's fine. But of course, Fly made it to the final and won that one back in the day. I think it was the 2nd episode. Yeah, Infi won the first one, Fly won the 2nd one, both in the final against 120. But let's go to the present and not dive into the future or past, as this is Last Refuge. WFZ in orange, spawning in the south. Might be the little favorite here, as Fly is not as active anymore. We mentioned this a couple of times, since he's more of a streamer, traveling a lot, working out, playing 2-2. WFZ is still active, I guess. Not too successful this year, but in the match in the group stage against Lin, he looked very strong, playing the Dreadlord twice, and that worked out phenomenally well. And we all know that Fly's biggest strength is the control of the Blade Master, and if you can disable him, looking pretty good for WFZ then.
The Undead with a bit of momentum, you could say, in this qualifier is going really well for him. Yesterday, taking out Lin, I didn't think that was going to happen, but he did make it happen. Going for the fast DK, he does that most of the time. For a while he only did this, and he's going for it as well here. His creeping isn't going to be as fast, but he's still going to get some experience, and his tech is going to be very quick as well. Yeah, WFZ, he has his own style. Against Night Elf, he plays Naga and A-bombs and no destroyers, no frostworms ever. And here, as you said, he seems to have brought in the Dreadlord. Is this going to be viable all the time? Is this predicated on the Orc not anticipating it? Because of course it's still very new. Does Fly maybe have an answer to this? Or was this... I think usually if WZ plays something like that in a big match, I think he's convinced that it's good. So I would expect him to be playing it here against Fly as well.
Me too. Of course Fly saw the matches. Of course Fly knows now that this is certainly an option. And he has a very interesting creep route, going for the Null Overseer very fast, before the 3-minute 30 mark, and moving over towards his opponent now.
Both players here are hitting level 2 at pretty much exactly the same time. With the Wand of Illusion, you should be able to creep the Ogre Magi here as well. But, of course, when the Blade Master's around, that's not really so easy to do. Doesn't have a Dust here either to reveal the first hero of the Orc. Tech-wise, comparison, it is a little bit ahead for the Orc, but not by much at all.
Yeah, showing the text now. And this is due to, like, no Fiend opening. Did he tech before the first Fiend? Yeah, right? He's still not producing one. Heavy usage of the Rod of Necromancy. We've seen this in the group stage as well against Lin. Basically no Fiends until tier 2, and like 6 skeletons at the same time is not super unusual for WFZ at the moment.
Yeah. And what did against Lin as well was 4 ghouls.
Yes.
Only for lumber, not for any usage on the map. So he's going to have so much lumber, but the trade-off for that having very, very few fiends. Last hit here of the Ogre Magi could be a big deal, and it goes towards the DK item towards the Blade Master though. The next Gloves of Haste for him. No, not lucky enough to find any claws, but still very nice inventory for the Blade.
Yeah, and he caught up with the Blade Master here in experience. We have to mention though, a lot of stuff is gone from WFZ's side. This little green spot is gone, the orange spot is gone, the big one from the expansion is gone. I mean, there's still the mercenary camp at the laboratory and the shop, but those are all pretty hard camps to take, except maybe the laboratory.
Forces are under attack.
Depends on like the state of the game. But in general, the grass looks greener on the Orc side.
And this is the reason why he's going for 4 ghouls here. Lich and tech and sacrificial pit and a slaughterhouse after. It's gonna be a lot of lumber required. But with that one fiend, he's still making stuff work if he gets the last hit here of the overseer, which he might be able to do with a coil through the forest. And he does get it. Item once again to Fly, but experience to the DK.
I think that was a little sloppy by Fly. I mean, it was a cool move by WFZ, and I really like what he did there. But especially with the fiend there and the skeletons around, he knew that this was going to happen, and he did nothing to prevent it.
Players' forces are under
I think he
attack.
tried to get the last hit there with a backstab, but that is almost impossible to do. If the Undead does it well, of course, more damage with a level 1 coil than a level 1 backstab.
On the other side, I really like the sacrificial pit. It's exactly how WFZ played against Lin, and he got so much information from that shade, especially when it comes to expansion timings. We know that Lin heavily relies on his expansions in this matchup, but what about Fly? We don't know his playstyle at the moment too well, because we haven't seen him too often.
A player's
So what's he
forces
going
are
to
under
do? Of
attack.
course, tier 3 tech, war mill, but yeah, tech timing will be important, and WFC will scout this. You see Shade going there immediately.
It's so crazy how this matchup has been getting more and more greedy on both sides for years now. In the past, we used to see tier 2 Orc being aggressive with walkers, very strong. Don't see that anymore. Nowadays, it's all about tier 3 rush. I think 1-0 plays 1 Fiend tech nowadays, tier 3 tech, or 2 Fiend tech here, as we're seeing from WFZ. He has had barely any army for a very long time, but still, he hit a very fast level 3 DK. I think that's something that Orcs could try to punish more, but I think by now it's too late. He's stealing his opponent's Ogre Magi, and nothing gonna get punished here. He's gonna get one of mana stealing, well, not the greatest, and the Shade. That's the thing that gives him all of this security. He knows the Blade Master wasn't around, hasn't seen this, so he's not gonna get punished for it.
It's really cool how WFZ comes up with new stuff, and it's not countered immediately. I mean, there were 1 day of time for
Players'
Fly
forces are under attack.
to analyze this and to punish this. But yeah, he seems to be not aware. Hunger for
Cold
Incarnation.
experience as well, very
Early
nice for the Lich. Dreadlord is coming. Of course, you want to rush tier 3 as quick as possible if you go for a 3rd hero to get experience on him, especially if it's an altar hero. And now there's so much lumber on the undead side, he could bring the ghouls to an engagement if he wants to. Frenzy might be an investment that he doesn't need to make with so few ghouls. SH keeps on leveling. And that's the thing, you know, about this meta. SH, if he goes aggressively, tries to punish the undead, that's dangerous, because if you don't get the kills, you fall behind in experience, and you do need level 3 desperately to be competitive in the late game. Ton of experience will help with this. He is now level 3, and this is usually where the game starts to pick up, when both players are on their tier 3 tech.
Yeah, man. Before it was some PvE Warcraft, which is of course not the most entertaining thing, but always interesting to analyze or to observe how the players prepare for the big battle in the late stage, because these battles are oftentimes absolutely amazing. And what
Players'
is
forces are
interesting
under
about Fly's play here is the early Wyvern. Like, do we have raiders at all? No, right? It's not a single raider here on this side.
I didn't even notice this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's no control at all. With good kiting from the undead side, that should be very hard for Fly to find some kills. Our viewers will know I'm really not a fan of Wind Riders, but okay.
I mean, it helps creeping because the damage is higher. The raiders don't do too much, and maybe since it's all PvE at this point, skip the raiders and go for what's better for creeping.
Yeah, against creeps, they're definitely better. In real fights, though, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, they get webbed and focused, call Nova, even if you need. That's true, but yeah, on that stage is fine. Claws of attack plus 12 for the Lich. He's at plus 17 already. Lots of Wand of Illusion on the Death Knight plus a health stone as well. Dreadlord getting closer to level 2. Burrow coming in, as well as more statues. That's what the Undead is doing. On the other side, Fly. Here is the first Raider after 10 minutes. He has Headhunters already. He has the upgraded Kodo Aura. His hero levels are okay. Level 3 on the Blade Master. Level 3 on the Shadow Hunter. Only level 1 on the TC, but... Where's his aura? Did he sell it already or just forgot it on the ground? I hope he sold it.
A TC solo creeping, I like that here. Is gonna take a little while. And here, I guess, is where the Wind Rider becomes useful. Here, if he gets level 3, that's really, really nice. That level 2 Storm will make a massive difference, especially with no silence being there.
Yeah.
But there is sleep, which can be used. But you want to use that ideally against the Blade Master, I guess, or against an SH to prevent the heal wave. So now there's too many targets to choose from almost, it seems like, for this Dreadlord.
That's true, depending on if you're scared of the Blade Master. He is plus 11 without the Kodo Aura, that's pretty nice. Depends on the situation, like if he's in the middle of all your fiends, or killing your destroyer with mass purchase, then sleeping him is fine. If he's out of position, can't be attacked, because there should be a lot of melee in the Orc army, then it's not too easy to wake up the sleeping hero. Or if you really want to prevent the heal wave, then of course the target will be the Shadow Hunter. There was a tower for Fly, so we wanted to go for the expansion. Immediately shut down once again, thanks to the Shade.
Dude, Fly, he's still not producing. He has more than 1,000 gold. This is a scary army moving across for the Undead. This is a destroyer timing as well. The ghouls may not have frenzy, but he still has 3 ghouls in this army. He did have them at least for a while. Illusions as well. This is a scary, scary push to fight into, but the TC is level 3. It's very nice that Fly was able to get this before. And this could be one fight to decide it all. TC moving forward, and it's a massive stomp. Sleep, though, on the Blade Master.
And there's nothing near to wake him up, only now, and he's wasting damage on the illusions with the Blade Master and the Raider. Blade Master sleeping again. Massive stomp, nice epicenter here, but there's a lot of coils thanks to the zombie mask that he found before. The destroyers are raining in the air, killing the grunt of the Blade Master is finally awake and taking care of the fiends, but the Dreadlord is his nemesis and sleeping him again. Kodo fell. And the next one will be decapitated as well. 2 Kodos down in barely 10 seconds. Needs some revenge kills, and he starts off with a statue.
TC in trouble next, perhaps? No, he's just completely ignoring the heroes. Nice Burrow there to save that fiend. The second one doesn't quite survive with the coil coming in too late. Destroyers in the air, though. How is he going to deal with those? Well, I guess he was able to, because the TP out is forced from the Undead side. A lot of these fiends were saved with the Burrow. And that fight definitely went towards WFZ, but it was a hold still.
Indeed. But in a perfect world, Fly would have used the time of this first Undead push for an expansion, maybe, if he's banking that much. Yeah. He spent his 1,000... No, he didn't spend his 1,000 gold. He still has 700. He will be able to get up to 50 and then maybe Tiny Great Hall. There's no fiend in this army anymore. Could open up a...
Is he really gonna go for a tiny... That would be so greedy.
Yeah, but... You know...
Orcs and their greed, it's unbelievable. He has the money for it. He lost that last engagement. But he doesn't care. Does he?
Great Hall.
It's Tiny Great Hall. Wow. The greed is unbelievable.
It will be scouted immediately.
And level 3 Dreadlord now.
Yeah. Better sleep.
So much sleep. He doesn't have that much mana anymore, though. That last fight was taken with full mana Dreadlord.
Yeah, but statues are there. If he started stepping a little, he gets some mana back. Still two sleeps here. At least. At the very least. Here's the Blade Master. He has an Ankh, no Invul. There is an Invul on the TC, there's an Invul on the Shadow Hunter. So he's well equipped for the nuke that is most likely to come. Lich has an Invul as well. Dreadlord is naked, but of course there are points.
Is he gonna morph these destroyers once again? He only has 2 supply free, so he can't really morph all of them. And the target is gonna be the Kodo. And the sleep on the Blade Master once again. How quickly is he gonna wake him up? Massive stomp again! This TC stomps have been absolutely amazing. Fiend in the backline gets called. Nice micro also on the Kodo Beast, making that one survive. Sleep again on the Blade Master. He wakes him up, but he loses so much in the process. Kodo Beast, Berserkers, everything's dying on the Orc side. The Grunt as well. Nothing so far has been lost for WFZ.
We have 2 shades, by the way. It's so fun to see. So funny to see. Another Nova hits the Kodo. If that Kodo falls, then the aura is gone. And that is, of course, a massive drop in damage. And there she goes down. No sleep any... Oh, there is sleep, actually. Doesn't want to go for it. There is potential for a hero nuke, but all the heroes are well prepared. Can he tear down this expansion now?
He's pretty low on mana, but yeah, the statues, normally they get taken out immediately by the orc. But guess what? For that you need raiders, of which you always had very few. He has one again. He has Berserker, so if he gets an ensnare on the destroyers, maybe he can take him out. But he's dropping low on mana himself. SH only has 1, maybe 2 heal waves left. TC Stomp once again, though, is gonna be big! Hits everything on the ground. Of course, the destroyers are not affected. Here comes the sleep again. Shop coming up in the back. Fiends will survive. There are more coils soon. 2, certainly. Lich level 4. Now he can use Dark Ritual if he needs to. Against the Shades, possibly. Nice Nova into the back line. The Berserker's dropping very, very low. Kodo Beast is back, though. Lots of damage again added to this orc army, but it's gonna die just as quickly as it arrived, as there's still no heal wave. There's no mana on this SH at all. And he's in a bad position as well. Might get focused next. I really like how he drains the mana before the statue dies. More damage for these destroyers who seem to be owning this battle. Still 2 up in the air. The shop's gonna finish though for the orc, or is it? He's still waiting for it.
The statues are gone though, and the Blade Master gets up to level 4. Is this the turnaround? Without healing, without mana regen, more and more headhunters fall because the Lich is that damn strong with a plus 20. Switching the focus to the Tauren Chieftain now, who drops dangerously low. Another coil saves the destroyer, another headhunter falls. Shop is trying to get it up in the bag for some mana potions or whatever. Is it a nuke against the Blade Master now to trigger the Arc of Reincarnation? No. But he tears down the shop and turns around for the expansion, most likely.
And guess what? He's expanding himself. Across the map, he didn't even have to win this fight so decisively anyways. He didn't have to win the game right here. He has a backup plan. Oh, but the Nova and the focus, the blade is dropping real low. Still has the Ankh. More healing coming as well.
He has a healing potion and an invo potion still on the Shadowhunter so that he can use another heal wave to get the Blade Master back up if there's no nuke in time, but I think the mana is still depleted for the undead. More and more headhunters. He's really putting the focus on this anti-air Blade Master. Is low, and that is the Arc of Reincarnation. Sleep now on the TC to prevent the stun, but look at this! Everything is dizzy, but now the TC is surrounded. Invo potion used. Will he let him out of that surround? Doesn't look like it. Another sleep on the Blade Master to prevent more damage against this hero. And now, how do you want to save the cow?
He can't. He's trying to pop him out, and it is actually successful. He has one more heal wave, but it's not good enough. The Ring of Protection, not strong enough. Level 5 for this DK. And with a Zoe Mask, many more coils to use. Level 4 for the Dreadlord. I've never seen this before in a professional game. And he's keeping these destroyers alive at the same time. Sleep after sleep coming in, and he's taking out the back. And he's just completely ignoring this Blade Master / sleeping him. Well, the Ankh was forced, I guess. Dust, gonna get rid of one more Fiend, but now the Blade.
There's no mana, there's no heal wave, there's no rescue for the first hero of Fly, and that's the GG. Once again, the Dreadlord play, the Shade play, WFZ's new strategies working out very, very well, and he's taking the first map of this winner bracket final.
WFZ and his special timings, you know? That's always seems to be what he's all about. He has this one game plan in mind, and he's waiting for that timing, and that one's supposed to be deadly. And at the moment, it looks very deadly. I think if Orcs play differently against it, it's a lot harder to make that work. If you scout better against the DK early, you really shouldn't allow him to get to level 3 so easily. Like, he had 2 Fiends for all eternity. You're supposed to have map control before that. Maybe, I don't know, be more aggressive. Maybe it's time for Boots of Speed again, I'm not sure. But one thing that I totally didn't anticipate was like, I was like, oh man, there's not going to be silence against this TC. The Storms are going to be sick. And they were sick. But when the Blade Master slipped all the time, there's no damage coming behind the Stomp.
Maybe he took a little bit too much Xanax. I don't know, man. But yeah, he tried to wake him up, especially with the Shadowhunter. We saw a few Chakrams flying his way, but that doesn't work all the time because you're so invested into micro that, yeah, this new thing, which is not really a pattern that you have in your controls, I think. It's not like an automatism. Is that a word in English? I don't know. Yeah, it's certainly hard.
And, you know, Orc and Undead late game armies are so explosive. They have so much damage.
Yes.
So even if the blade gets woken up, it's still 4 sleeps in a row. That's at least 15 seconds, I would say, where the Blade Master just can't do anything,
Yeah.
period. In that time, usually 2 Orc units will have died, at least. And then you have that edge moving on to the later stages of the fight. Of course, by then, the Dreadlord does barely anything. But you have taken the lead by then, and if your statues are still alive, you are going to get some sleeps again after. Really cool. WFZ with some new meta stuff.
We have another result that is Infi leading 1-0 over Free. That means he's 1 map away from meeting Lawliot in the lower bracket round 2. But we will follow this pretty cool Orc vs. Undead that we have to our hands here. We have also a few new supporters. That is Night Blazer for 22 months, so far behind, trying to catch up. I will catch up. Thank you very much for the continued support, even though you might have not too much time at the moment. And Bent PG has subscribed for 1/3 of a year. Thanks, guys, for sticking around for so long.
So, WFZ. It seemed like already yesterday he had, you know, the momentum with him. The wind in his sails with that win against Lin, and now 1 map away from making it to the winners final. That will not be our last game. We will be checking out Lawliot's game after, which, by the way, could be really sick as well. Lawliot versus Infi. That will be an awesome match.
Most likely Infi as Orc, though.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, never mind. Won't be so awesome then. But it's going to be a very important game for Lawliot. Because if he wins that one, he is definitely going to GCS. And if not, then we're going to have a super duper tiebreaker.
I'm trying to get into the game. Ah, there we go. Are you in?
Nope. Not yet.
Go. Fly is in, WFC is in, all the streamers are in. That's fine. I have to tickle for read more a little.
All right, so Terran Stand once again, the new version, obviously. WFZ was one of the few undeads who did not dread this map. He used to play it quite a bit in the past. It has really started to stand out for us because of the drops. So many great drops to find and to pick up so easily as well. Usually more easily done with a Blade Master, but a DK running around early with some skeletons only can also grab up a lot of items. And I think that's what WFZ is going to go for. WFZ has always been a strong player, but I've always felt like he's very predictable. He has like that one strategy and he's going to play it all the time. He's not going to mix it up. Unless he's forced to. One way to force him to mix it up would be a Farseer, which is what Lin did yesterday on one map. The one map he won, I think it was.
Yes, it was. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Terranas. And it was also no Dreadlord on that map that WFC lost. So I think it was a Pit Lord, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that real quick here on Liquid.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did they update this? Yes, they did. Yeah, it was a Pit Lord. It was Echo Isles though, not TS. Yeah, thank you, Starshaped. By the way, Starshaped, you still have to send me your PayPal address. Don't forget about that.
What are you going to pay him for?
He bought a cable because I forgot the pin to my credit card.
Oh yeah, right. You forget that all the time. I remember.
Like, I just blank for a minute and then I know it again, but it's so embarrassing if you're at the cashier and you just don't know it.
So,
but yeah, for the first time we're gonna have a credit card in China, by the way. No need to get money anymore. Whoop, whoop.
Early DK once again from WFZ, who, as I said earlier, plays this almost all of the time nowadays. And Blade Master start, no Farseer here. Especially on this map, Blade Master makes sense. I feel like you can grab claws and other items so easily with him. And a shop very far forward, going to go for those little kobolds, which hold the claws potentially. There's also 2 claws in the middle at the green camps, also super easy to grab up, but comes at the price that the experience is pretty damn low. So what are they going to favor early here in their creep routes? Items or experience?
I'm pretty sure it's items for Fly. But okay, shop between shop, like merchant and gold mine. That is
After
a
he
different
creeps the claw,
creeper.
he doesn't want to run so far back again. I think that's the purpose.
Yeah,
here.
but usually the orcs go into the middle for the claws, like for the double creep spot here at the fountains.
Can you kill the enforcer with only one grunt? And the blade, of course.
I mean, he could go for. I don't know. Maybe it's definitely good that Fly is not going for the obvious
player's
because
forces are under
WFZ is already there with a ghoul to punish this. But it's also nice for the undead since if Fly is there, he can punish this. If he's not there, he can just creep it.
And he gets the first circlet. And actually, he is creeping the enforcer with only a grunt. So yes, it does work. It's pretty risky though. He's not scouting anywhere. Imagine a DK showing up right now with dust. That would be like almost GG. He gets the Yank, which is nice. You have the safety of
Player's
one more
forces are
life,
under
but he doesn't
attack.
care about one more life. Sells it right away. Everything's really hurt for him now. DK.
Isn't like the early Ankh of Reincarnation the perfect item for Fly since he lost his blade master?
Yeah, usually. But he doesn't care. DK with great drops here. Lots of extra intelligence. And that's of course always want those mana points. 4 ghoul opening again, but this time he's using them to creep. And this is the perfect timing for Fly. Oh, did he see it? It was nighttime, but yes, he did see it.
Okay, here we go. Enforcer is kind of low. Still coil over backstab. Death Knight gets it. Item though on the Blade Master. Another Ankh. Something in this game really doesn't want his Blade Master to die this time.
But the ghouls should all remain alive. Blade Master's out of mana now.
Like, what a good... like, how well WFZ is salvaging this is really impressive. Not a single loss. Didn't lose the experience. Is level 2 now. Yeah, the item, I mean, can't get it all, I think.
But once again, you know, the Terranos stand effect. Now, it hasn't become too relevant yet because it's 2 Ankhs, which are like meh. But he got them both. Imagine if he had 2 Books of the Dead right now.
Or, yeah, or Wind of the Wind or something. Wind of the Wind is so strong before level 3 because it prevents coils and you can't do anything against it.
Yeah, or he could just use the wand and kill all the fiends, which will be coming out soon.
Yep.
As soon as he has 3 grunts, he can wand and cyclones around, easy peasy.
Yeah, I would really love to see a change here. I don't know.
DK's items though are like, that's the nuts. That's a circlet, a claws, and a mantle. That's exactly what he wanted.
Holy shit, man, that's plus 11 on the Lich already once he pops out. Or more coils on the DK, whatever he's deciding to go for.
Blade Master finds his own claws though, and that's the better claw, the claws plus 9. Something that the DK is trying to get on his side. Another one of those creeps which is so easily taken out, the level 4 High Priest. Stands... Oh, actually it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for WC to kill this, but he will be able to. Boots! For him... Meh. Usually I love the item for Undead against Orc. Not the most impactful though.
On the Lich it's good, I feel, because you have like Nova later and more movement speed is always decent. Plus the aura.
If you can reach for a final last hit, or you can move it and use it to get away from a hero focus attempt, it's good, but usually the big battles are fairly static.
I agree that it's not a bad item, but not the best one there is. So. Or not in the top tier range.
Oh, there's also 4 possible tomes of experience on this map. Yeah, we should really work on these drops, guys.
By the way, WFC is not playing a pit this time, so no shade. And that got him so much information.
He used a couple of these ghouls for creeping early, so that's where the lumber was less this time around. Here comes the sacrificial pit now, but yes, delayed.
Fly, by the way, with the... Is it the second Ankh, or did he get the third one?
Player's forces are under
No,
attack.
it's still the second.
Oh, okay, so he got the boost
just-
of Quel'Thalas.
Yes.
Nice. Trifecta and boots, man. This is already a scary blade.
Absolutely. This blade is super sick. So the Lich is out. He's creeping at his Merc camp. Lots of small items on the Lich. Makes him quite a bit stronger now. And of course a big consumable from the Renegade. The greater mana is what he wants, but there's a lot of great ones here. Since Fly doesn't seem to want to play any Dispel, Scroll the Beast could also be extremely strong. Greater Healing? Also good.
Yeah, against this
A
Blade.
player's forces
We have the
are
pit
under
now.
attack.
So a Shade is coming soonish. Tier 3 still takes like
Ton of
1/3.
experience again for Fly.
Wow. And his tier 3 is ready. The Warmel is already in place for the first attack upgrade. This time he goes Raiders a little earlier.
Why is he creeping so much with his Blade Master? He's taken so much experience away from the SH.
Maybe he sees that he has decent agility and wants crit level 2 very fast. I don't know.
But the heal wave level 2 is pretty good. Going for the... What's his face? The big creep here. The Dark Wizard. Oh, this gets scouted by a Shade. But usually undeads really never play aggressively before tier 3. So I think that's a okay time to creep this. He is getting polymorphed though. Making this taking a little bit longer. And it's still not going to be level 3 unless the Blade walks away. But even then I don't think it's good enough for the SH.
Yeah, interesting unit composition in game 1, interesting creep pattern in map number 2, so Fly, we can say mixing it up. When of mana stealing is nice if you use it on the DK. Lich gets level 2 as well with sentry wards, and yeah, the before mentioned plus 11, now plus 16 with the orb. Destroyer upgrade, and it's Dreadlord time again. No Pit Lord this time.
Alright, he wants to have the answer against the Blade once again, and this time it's gonna come in really handy, because this Blade's gonna be level 4 with a lot of nice items to his name. TC. The last game he was level 3 already before the first big fight. This game, I really don't see him reaching that.
Yeah, gonna be hard, that's for sure. Polymorph used from this Dark Wizard again. He even uses a Coil and a Nova.
Oh, and that's the Scroll of the Beast. That is really good.
Yeah. This is 25% more damage on every single unit. Except you dispel it, but without a Lodge, without Walkers, without the Adept upgrade. No dispel. He has 2 Went of Mana Stealing. Sells the one now.
And that's finally level 3 SH. Alright, it took a while, but he did get there. And now with the level 4 Blade and full mana, he's still creeping. Orb of Lightning though, he has plus 32 damage. Holy shit, dude.
Yes.
With the old patch, that would be a lot of damage.
Yep.
It's still a lot of damage, but not quite as much.
I mean, the right clicks are insanely strong, the crits are a little lower than before. But I feel a lot of people forget that the right clicks are still that strong.
Yeah, it's not like he only with the crit he deals damage.
Yeah.
So, here we go again. Ghouls coming from the main, just like last time. The same timing once again from WFZ, as he often likes to do. Oh, the statue getting caught out of position. Big mistake! Rallying mistake by WFZ. Not paying attention to the menu. And he had a Shade as well.
Yeah, that's weird.
That makes this a really, really bad mistake.
And Fly immediately setting up a tower. He knows how good this position is, and look at the stomp go! Can the Scroll of the Beast turn this around? He's trying to know about the Raiders to get rid of the control. Sleep again on the Blade Master not being countered. He's focusing the Kodo Beast, but there is Heal Wave. At least one. Kodo falls, but the aura is still there.
That's the thing. The storms are great, but there's no damage. Now the Blade Master is finally awake. There's no sleep at the moment. We're gonna have another one. But already he has killed so many units. But now the Blade Master is getting to work. There is no sleep. I think he stole the mana from the Dreadlord, so now the Blade Master, he has to win this fight by himself. Can he do it? Because, like, he has no army left. Only the heroes.
It's so sick. Like, the Lich with the Scroll of the Beast is plus 25. Can be attacked now, though. He's hurt. Long range coil. Arrives in time. But again, no solution to the destroyers. The TC has an Invo Potion, gets a heal wave. Third last one only. It's kind of like a Dota fight right now. With only the heroes.
Players' forces are
And the statue's taking those out as keys still. Blade Master, so much mana. But the Shade is there to reveal him. And now there's no more sleep. SH still has a decent amount of healing left. TC walking in again. Stomp could be big. He has one ready, only level 1, of course. Dreadlord in trouble as well. He's dropping low, and there's the Stomp. He's trying to kill his third hero, and he's able to. before the coil was there. And now the DK dropping very low himself. Might be forced into a TP out. Looks like it. SH can't quite get there for the Hex. TP comes, trying to keep all of his destroyers alive. And he will be able to.
That was, I think, certainly a mistake by WFZ at the end to move the DK close to the Dreadlord. Maybe he wanted to swap the town portal to get out, but then he got caught by the stun and couldn't use the coil anymore. So, I don't know, maybe if he moves out of that position, because it was a little obvious that the TC is aiming for that stun, he could have coiled the Dreadlord, then TP out, save the hero. But what does it matter? He killed the entire army except, like, okay, the Kodo is new and the Headhunter's new, but the Headhunter's not even upgraded. So Fly only now setting up the tiny Great Hall, and again, he's losing the fight, he's losing his entire army, and what does he do? Not building Raiders, Grunts, whatever, but buy the tiny Great Hall for 700 gold. Is that the right thing to do?
It was, I mean, I would also say that he lost the fight this time, but not as clearly as the last time. Last time he totally one-sidedly lost the fight. Here, he killed the Dreadlord. He still has something left, aside from the heroes, and the most important thing, he has towers up. 2 towers is a lot better than just 1 tower. And this blade is still a mother-freaking beast. He is gonna need the Dreadlord to deal with the Blade Master here, I feel.
Yeah,
and
Dreadlord's coming.
Dreadlord level 3, ideally, which he is far, far away from.
Only an Ankh on the Blade Master. Also,
A
no
player's
invul
forces
like the
are under
entire
attack.
time. No invul on the Shadow Hunter as well. Of course, he can heal himself up instantly. But he might be a target.
Is he gonna morph all of these destroyers? That would be a lot of mana that he can use. Oh! He's expanding again.
I mean, there's no chance for Fly to punish this at the moment. Nice ward, by the way. If the Blade Master goes invis, he will be seen.
And he has the shade as well, as we say in German. Doppelt hält besser. In case one of them should get killed.
That's why he had 2 shades last time. And last refuge.
Of course, now big economy advantage. Oh, Coil Nova on the Raider, but he saves it. 200 mana, not resulting in a kill. But of course, this is supposed to buy time for his expansion, which is halfway done now. Blade Master looking for the statues though, and those will... This one will certainly die. He doesn't drain the mana this time, something he was very good about doing last game. Coils on grunts, yeah.
It's most likely a misclick or something. Expansion's almost done though. He contains him in his own base. Gets a little claustrophobic for Fly at the moment, but finally he can move out a little. No purges here. This is also so good about the sleep. Like when the Blade Master is on the chase, you can... Okay, if you're microing the statues, you can, of course, sleep the Blade Master to prevent the kills on the statue. But yeah, a little mistake here again by WFZ.
And I think that's more than just a little mistake. That's a lot of mana lost. That's the second time this has happened. Forgetting about a statue. Not something you can usually afford to do. Ghouls coming in once again to help in the defense. Offensive coil again, doing nothing. WZ here seems to be starting to make a few mistakes. The lightning shield on the TC. Lots of damage can get dispelled, however, quickly. And he's dropping low as well. Invul on the TC. Again, the Dreadlord in trouble. Is there going to be a coil in time to save him? Yes, there will be. Frost armor as well to make him more tanky. Destroyers up in the air. But on the ground, there's barely anything left for the undead. And we have a lot of piercing damage to deal with these destroyers now. The Expo is standing, but it might be getting pressured into submission soon if Fly wins this fight, which it seems like he's on the way to do. Because the destroyers... There's too much counters against them. There's Kodos, there's Headhunters, there's of course the Orb of Lightning from the Blade Master. This Blade Master who is so strong in this game. Level 3 for the TC finally. And WFZ has to retreat. He has so little left.
There is a sleep coming soon, and again, Dreadlord and DK getting both caught. There is no coil anymore. At least he can sleep the Blade Master to rescue himself. But now the DK is in trouble. He is naked. There is no item on him. Okay, there we go. Transferred by the Lich, I guess. But now he's aiming for the Dreadlord. No sleep, no more, except for the Dreadlord himself, who will sleep until all eternity now. Fly is pushing forward, getting the next statue. No more healing, no more regen in the back. He has still 2 Kodo Beasts. +5 on the Headhunter, that is, by the way. Can he kill the expansion now, or will he just... It's hard, I guess. There's no defense, So he has to kill the Expo.
Can he force Fly away here somehow? Coil Nova. Not really, he has like no mana, WFZ, to use any of his nukes. And the Lich far forward. There's no invul on him. If he hits an ensnare, he may die here. But once again, Destroyers seem to be the target. Blade Master running through, critting against the statue. Crit, still good. Take out that key target right away. And if he dies, he still has the Ankh to come back. But there's more and more heal waves from this SH, who always seems to have mana.
It's crazy, really, how well he does that. And the backline still looks healthy. This time the Lich isn't so OP as he was last time. Can take out the Headhunters as much, and now level 5. Have fun with the level 3 crits. They are 260 even on patch 1.29. That's just insane. We have 37 supply versus 62. Endless reinforcements, as it seems for Fly, who's still floating in 600 gold.
This game looks to be very, very much so in the Orc's favor.
3 Kodo Beasts, man.
SH is out of mana. The one glimmer of hope here is kill the SH, kill the Blade Master, kill the TC. But for
That sounds
he needs a lot
easy.
of mana.
Even have a Wyvern for additional damage. Don't know if that's necessary. 1,000 gold now, yeah, and WFZ calls for the GG. Nice comeback by Fly to make to tie up this series and forcing a game 3 out of WFZ.
Yeah. It looked very similar to the first game. Again, it's like creeping all the time, greedy play by the Undead, not getting punished. And then that timing again, with the 3 ghouls, with the Destroyers. Difference this time, 1 statue wasted. That's 1 Destroyer less, and a lot of mana missing. But again, the beginning of the fight was really good. Blade Master slept all the time. He lost, I think, 1 Raider, 1 Grunt, 1 Kodo, and another unit before there were any return kills.
Yeah.
But this time, the Blade Master was so strong, he could fight his way back once sleep was no more there.
That's true. The expansion was a good call at the end by Fly because he was able to hold the push of WFZ thanks to the also the interception of that statue there once again. So it was pretty damn cool to see how Fly is still able to compete with the best, even though he's not practicing 100%.
And that push there, where he kills the Dreadlord, the DK TP's out after. That was really close. If DK has maybe 1 mana potion, 2 more coils, saves 1 Destroyer, saves the Dreadlord, then he's not forced to TP away, and he can keep on pressuring. And there is no expansion coming up for the Orc. It was really close. And we're gonna have a decision next. Who wins this game? Who meets Lin in the winner's final? Are we gonna have an Orc mirror, or is it the rematch from yesterday where WFZ was able to take out Lin? 2-1 it was yesterday for WFZ as well. So he wasn't able to get the clean sweep. And now against Fly, he has the same chance again.
True that. We're waiting for the game to be hosted. Can't take too long, I guess.
Do we have any updates? Infi versus Free, for example?
1-1 actually.
1-1?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I did not expect that. But knowing Infi, perhaps he played something weird. Or perhaps Free just played well. I don't want to, discredit him.
So I'm trying to arrange that they wait with the Lawlight game, who will face Infi or Free, until Fly versus WFZ is over.
That would be nice. The loser, by the way, of this will face TH in the lower bracket, which is a very tough opponent for Orc or Undead.
Yeah.
Does TH play Orc versus Undead as well at the moment?
I think he plays human, but I'm not too sure. Invite to.
Thank you.
So it's gonna be Amazonia. And we haven't seen that in Lin versus WFZ yesterday, so not too familiar with the style of WFZ there.
I think could be difficult for him earlier. So he creeps with only skeletons for a very long time.
Yeah.
How well can you do that on AZ? You can do it very well
Good.
against the Berserkers, but normally the Orc grabs them early.
You can go for the mercenaries to snipe the big items.
Yeah, you can snipe the Renegade, that's true. But that is a risk you have to take, because it can be scouted by the Orc. You can go for the Kobold in the middle, maybe, if you have a lot of skeletons. Depends on the bashes, though. Hi, Starshade, what do you think about the bash Kobold in the middle of the map? Do you have any opinions?
The never-ending feud of Back to Warcraft versus Starshape, man. It will never end.
I must say, I really hate that creep camp myself, though. Like, when your hero is in a bad position once and he gets attacked by all three, you just stun locked for 4 seconds. It's not fun. All right, here we go. Deciding map number 3. Who makes it through in the upper bracket into the winner's final? Is it WFZ or is it Fly?
Lin is waiting there already. He had an easy 4-0 today against TH and against Lawlight. Doesn't matter who his opponent is, he had a tougher task so far. They give it all, as it seems. Gloves off.
Like
no
Rise
mercy.
Against.
Wow. Wow. Remo making a punk rock reference. This is the day, everybody.
It just
I'm
popped
so
into
proud
my
of
head when you said it. Did you see that video back then of like when parkour was so in, and there was this guy who called himself Urban Ninja or whatever, and there was the Rise Against soundtrack to it?
Nope, but sounds good.
That was the time. That was, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade or something, and we were all angsty and edgy, and we listened.
You were angsty and edgy.
Not so much as some of the others, but a little bit, you know.
Rise
At that
Against
time, I think everyone is.
Nowadays, by the way, Rise Against suck. So bad. So bad. So sad how this band developed. But the guys who don't suck are on the screen right now, and I hope I switched into in-game, because otherwise it would be a little too much self-praise. No, we're here. WFZ won the first map, lost the second, due to Fly playing way better on Terranas. We have a Blade Master as the #1 choice for him. Again, 31 years old, one of the oldest guys remaining in the scene. WFZ, 28, but already a father, already married. I don't know if his girlfriend is still in Germany. I think she moved back, but I'm not sure. DK opening, late fiends, everything like business as usual, right?
Yep. WZ especially going for the fast hero pretty much always, as we said numerous times now. He already, with his scouting acolyte, slayed the little frog to make skeletons for creeping. And if he scouted the Orc main, he would see a shop early. That means that the Blade Master is gonna go creep his own Renegade Wizard. And that means he is not going for the Circlet, so that should give the DK some time. He doesn't have that information, though. WZ, I still remember WCA 2014 against TH. On this map, he went for the Kobold camp first. But again, that's kind of RNG. And no, he's going for the Berserker. Which has become more and more standard for undeads, especially the top undeads against human do that all the time. And you are not supposed to get a skeleton ensnared when you do that. That was a big mistake.
That means, of course, more damage on the DK. And slower creeping. And Fly starts off with a claw that is more damage and faster creep.
Player's forces are under
He's actually rushing level 2 here. That's pretty unusual. Normally we see the claws being sniped, then go to the shop, heal, then go to the circlet, and then go for the berserkers. I think that's the standard creep route. And oh boy, is he being rewarded here.
Plus
the nuts
9.
for him.
Yeah, indeed, man. Plus 9 damage right after the 3-minute mark. And WFZ only finished this creep spot now. He does have his almost signature 6 skeletons now. But this is very obvious, I feel. And Fly thinks alike.
Yeah.
A player's forces
And it's hard to
are
do as
under
well
attack.
because of the ensnare earlier on the skeleton, and it's gonna be a lot of damage on the DK. Yep, Late Master starts laying into him right away with the crit after the backstab, and late reaction from this Death Knight. This block is not gonna be quite successful. I think with a sort of speed, he would have been able to force a TP, but he didn't do it. Wants to go for the Renegade himself, who is very low now, and, well, if this is a piece of Peltalas,
I thought the same. He leaves the Robo on the ground though because he's slot starved. Okay, he just wants Windwalk, heal self, and now he picks it up. Fantastic for the Shadow Hunter though.
A player's forces are
It's
under
not the
attack.
worst start of all time for Fly.
Bastard here is important for the Death Knight for level 2, and he will get it, but still may get backstabbed. He will. There's 2 more Windwalks here. This could be a TP. This could be the kill!
Yeah, man. This is so hard. TP it is, but he's
he
in
won't
Windwalk.
survive.
This is the kill. There's no potions, whatever.
Oh, nice. Into the bag. Nobody ever thinks of this.
Yeah, but he's stuck there now as well.
Yeah, yes, he's stuck, but he needs to cut. He needs to cut only 2 trees next to the shop to get out, but he is not realizing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Of course, now the Blade Master has absolutely free reign. Nothing the DK can do, but it's still better than losing the DK, I think.
By the way, they will wait. Infi and Lawlights, we will see the decision of that match right after this one. So thank you to the admins and Lawlight and Infi. Tier 2 is done, so he can get a potion now.
But he
And
sold the
this-
shop to get out.
Oh yeah.
A
Oh
player's
yeah.
forces are
That
under
is
attack.
not good. Oh my god. What a disaster for WFZ.
And
Fly, man, he's having the time of his life with his +9, +11, and with the replenishment potion. Easily taking out the second one. And these spots are so important for the orc, and you see exactly why. Boots of Kel Talas.
Usually this is the map where it's by far hardest to pimp the Blade Master on.
Yep.
He has had exceptional drops though.
Yep.
And he is once again gonna be the killer in the late game.
Yep.
If he survives the 4 sleeps, he may be able to win the end fight by himself again.
Yes. Almost losing a grunt here. Even saves that one. The skeleton wanting to punish him for this creep, but no. Micro was good. Skeleton turns into dust, and the heal self is there. Death Knight, though, has kind of level 3, but he has to send the Lich away for that. So he is without any single experience point. Tier 3 is 60% done for Fly, and
A
Snare is
player's
coming too.
forces are under attack.
And he will cancel the Slaughterhouse with the damage, right?
He could.
Yep, he will.
There's a couple of ghouls here to deal with him, but it's just too much damage.
No way. It's not only the +17. The +11 agility are also so much attack speed. Don't forget about that.
And that's the thing about going for these renegades in the early creep route. It is a risk.
Forces are under
And
attack.
boy, did WFZ get punished.
Hell yeah.
Oh, another slippers, by the way, for the SH.
Oh yeah. They will trade, I guess. Just slippers for the rope. Everybody will be happy about that.
Oh, and now in the middle, they're gonna meet. And WZ is really not ready to fight. And he doesn't have a TP. This could be the game.
Yep.
Blade Master's coming in from the north. What's he gonna go for? He's certainly bloodthirsty for some kills here.
Hex is easy. It's so easy. I mean, there are a few coils. Is it? Yeah, he's backing up. Of course, Frost Armor helps to slow this down. Okay, there's no end snare yet, I guess. It's okay, but he steals the
Player's forces are under
Taskmaster.
attack.
WZ getting away lucky there. If he hexes the Fiend, that one's definitely dead.
But that's almost level 3 for the SH.
Yeah, and Lich, barely any experience. Now he has sentries against the Shade as well. May be able to kill that one. And this greedy opening by WFZ, it had worked well against Lin. It worked well in game number 1 and game number 2.
Player's
But in game
forces
number
are under
3,
attack.
he gets punished for it.
Maybe he finds a miraculous way out of this pretentious situation. But it's gonna be such a tough task. He needs a miracle, man. What can he put out of his head to...
The thing is, the Split Master's beyond sick. But the Dreadlord is gonna render him useless for a long time.
Yeah.
But still, without Nova, you can't win, even if the Blade Master's asleep all the time.
The only creep spot that is close to the base of WFZ is the main, the expansion, with the slow golems, with the stunning rock golem.
Yeah.
So this is so risky. If the Orc finds him there, it's gonna be double disable, triple disable if you can't ensnare in. And stun, if he finishes this one soon. Fly is so confident. He has like the biggest chest of all time, like Noff and Andars, running across this map like, you can't touch me, whatever you do.
Oh, and the sentry sees the undeads creeping. Undead, who by the way does not have a TP. Here's the Dreadlord again. One ghoul died right away. Here's the sleep. Two more ghouls seem to be the targets next. TC is too tanky here to take out. Having Aura first, by the way, no Stomp.
WFZ is certainly lucky that this is Aura first and not stun, because, oh my god. Like, the entire undead army would be on a silver platter otherwise.
And with no Nova, like, he has such a hard time. This will be the first kill on the ground.
Yep.
And he has lost, like, everything himself.
Losing a Fiend. Saves the Raider. Shadowhunter has another heal wave, we see it now. And there's no disable against this Blade Master. I mean, sleep is already used. It's a slaughter, man. It's just a slaughter.
Yes.
Oh, nice coil sleep here, though.
But, I mean, only does so much.
Purge!
Here's a Purge against the heroes. Very unlikely, but sometimes it happens. Lich is dead. He was just made of paper, even with frost armor.
Yeah, and he cuts that paper with a super sharp katana. And now, like, he has to wait for the Lich, who's level 1. He can't level him, really, because, of course, Fly will take this. This is level 2 for the TC. This is Storm. And obviously the greater mana.
Dude, these drops for him.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So at the moment the Undead has one ghoul, one fiend, and one statue. The Lich is back now though, which is something. And here we go. Banshee House, Temple of the Damned, super late game, but seems a little bit too late if you ask me.
It's like he owns this map. WFZ goes far out of his way to get at least some creeping done, but of course Fly is way more efficient. Crystal Ball, okay, that makes up for it. But like, if he burrows fiends, he can still use that Crystal Ball, maybe. Temple of the Damned, yes, but what's it worth? We have Berserkers, more Raiders, 50 supply and 1,000 gold. Kind of nice, actually, of WFZ to creep this up so Fly can place an expansion now.
Yep, helping out his buddy, knowing that he would only be delaying the inevitable, I guess. Lich is still not level 2, man. That's where Amazonia can be very difficult for Undead. If you fall behind early, you just have such a hard time leveling your second hero. And that really came to bite him in the ass in this game.
Yeah, Fly with a great pressure early on. So hard to get back from that. But Fly,
you know,
we gotta say, didn't make too many mistakes. Like, he grabbed the advantage and just ran with it. Never looking back.
All happened because of that Renegade. That Renegade was way too greedy.
And way too obvious.
No, but sometimes that happens, I guess.
Tower
That
first still? Huh?
Posturing around the red camp here. You know, if the stars align and the Blade Master misses 80% of his hits, maybe this is doable.
Yeah, or if Fly's wife is sitting on his lap and controls the mouse, then maybe it's also doable.
Yes, you know, there's some possibilities.
He's expanding. Lol.
Doesn't have a tiny Great Hall though.
No, I mean, WFZ is expanding.
Oh, he's expanding.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he has quite the advantage right now, so why not?
As an undead, it's so easy to expand. I mean, you can do it all the time. Expansion
Yeah.
is so fast, so cheap.
He doesn't have the lumber for it, though.
I mean, just, you know, placing
The
a
one
few-
ghoul, he's gotta get you that lumber right away. Don't you worry.
I mean, it looks nice if you have a necropolis there already.
Yeah.
It's also
It gets the undead feng shui going, you know.
exactly. The Acolyte is also pretty happy to just chill for a while. They're working like for 15 years straight. They're just mining gold.
Yeah.
So
They're just
cut 'em
praying
some
to
slack,
the gold
man.
mine. How do you think that works? You know, other races, they bring out the gold sacks. The acolytes are just, please give me the gold. Please give me the gold. Give me the gold, please. It actually arrives.
It's like the homeless people in like the city. You have some change. That's what the Acolyte do.
What's my mark? What's your donation rate for homeless people, percentage-wise?
Depends on how creative they are and how nice they are. Usually I give them my
My card. I'm Neo.
My
In case you need to get in contact.
Here, take my esports money. No, like you know that change, like the 20 cents, 10 cents, whatever. I just give it to them because I won't use it anyway.
Yeah.
A player's forces are under attack.
So we have a tiny great hall now. It's mining. There's a shop. There's 2 towers. This is a big-ass, scary orc army. Only thing missing is a level 3 TC.
I mean, it's only 10 supply difference, but it's so many levels different. It's 4, 3, 2
The Lich is level 1, dude.
against 3, 1, 1 exactly.
And in we go! TC finally has the stomp. He's gonna make great use of it here, even if it's only level 1. Blade Master gets slept. He's not cursed, by the way. Does he not have curse on autocast? I'm not sure. But yeah, this Undead army is dissipating quickly. DK in the front lines, very low HP, has to TP out, not having gotten a single kill, as the Lich is still level 1. But at least he had spot time for his expansion, because that one's almost done.
Ew. That curse was so late. It's like you have that big threat directly in your face and you have a decent solution to it and you're not using it. He's making his life a lot harder. And now, of course, Fly gets the Granite Golem, the second one in this game. And this time, it's the Warsong Battle Drums. People who are unfamiliar with Warcraft may say, oh, you got the Warsong Battle Drums already on the Kodo Beast. It's the command aura that does stack with the normal Kodo aura. So it's a plus 41 Blade Master.
Yeah, his max damage is 98.
On a right click, dude. On a right click. And he's about to be level 5 as well. That's just so sick.
The TC is level 3 as well.
Yep. Can someone please end this misery for WFZ? It's so hard to watch how he's getting like, humiliated. I don't want to say humiliated because he's putting up a strong fight against all the odds that there are against him, but it's just a punishment at this point.
It's like, this is seriously an 8-click army. Well, that's not true. You have to wake up your Blade Master. That's the only thing you have to do. He's getting slept again. He's bringing the ghouls, trying to do... Oh my god, that stomp! Hit like 12 units! Alright. And this one as well. Well, the ghouls have already died, so he can't hit 12 units anymore. Blade Master's getting woken up. He's missing quite a bit here. We're not seeing the crits yet. He's trying to go for the Kodo in the back line, but the Nova's too weak. He won't find the kill. I don't know that a single Orc unit has died so far, but this Kodo will. Hell yeah, I'll get that kill. And now the Blade's level 5.
215 critical strike, not the highest one. There's an abomination coming now, but getting purged immediately. 220, but yeah, lots of misses, so he's holding on for a bit, but it's twice the supply if the Kodo dies. The Dreadlord is surrounded, gets an Invo potion, so he's really fighting until the very end here. I don't know if there's an animosity between the two or...
This is still doable, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like very even fight so far. WFZ almost has this turned around. Only takes another 60 supply or so, maybe then you can do it.
Fly's,
Well.
I mean, Fly has nothing against it. For him, it must be so much fun. And there's still the expansion running for WFZ. Maybe he thinks, okay, if Fly is never scouting this, then I might get
A player's
away with it
forces are under
somehow. But Fly says no.
No. The towers are gonna be taken out quickly here by the Raiders. Last stand by WFZ. Doesn't have TP or invul anymore. Means taking out these heroes has just become a lot more easy. But seems to be going for the castles instead. The curses not good enough to save the Banshees. 269. That was a big crit. And
Maybe the highest crit that we will ever see in patch 1.29, actually. 1,000 gold for Fly. Like, even if he loses 15, 20 supply to, I don't know, the gods. GG. Fly versus Lin is our winner bracket final, man. I was so surprised by Fly already 2 days ago when he won his group, and now he's not in the lower bracket. Like, damn. That is pretty impressive.
yeah, really strong.
Coming out
Really
of
strong.
nowhere, really.
And yesterday, WC taking out Lin, I was like, holy shit, what's going on here? But his own strategy that he crafted and he only plays is proving to be susceptible to pressure and, well, risky to play. It worked out against Lin, didn't work out against Fly. But now we have a very interesting game to our hands.